Hello friends, I'm Marland and this is MV Pittman Cross Sim Racing. Today we need to talk about something very important. Minimum Viable Product, MVP. MVP is usually me, but this minimal viable product concept is really important. This is the least amount of effort that you can put into something and then still sell it. Sim wheels are expensive. it's problematic because a sim racing wheel is essentially a joystick, and that's too much money. $2,000 is too much money to pay for essentially an Xbox gamepad. I mean, you could just play a game with a gamepad. Obviously, you're not going to have the detailed level of control that you need to for analog input. But I think 10 buttons and a few encoders is probably good, but not $2,000 worth of good. And there's a few ways to mitigate that. What I typically do is either purchase and work with DIY wheels or get used wheels. So if you build something yourself, you can control those costs. If you buy something that someone has already bought and then sells, then whatever initial costs like tax or shipping or import duties, you can mitigate those by letting someone else absorb those, and then you get the wheel after they have loved and cared for it. If you're worried about getting something that's broken, if it's a DIY wheel, you fix it. If it's a retail wheel, you can send it to the manufacturer, or you can probably fix it, or you recognize that when someone pays $2,000 or $1,500 or $800 for a device, usually they're going to take care of it. The reason they're getting rid of it is probably so they can go buy another one. And, you can stay on the front end of that wave or you can ride the back of the wave. And I prefer to ride it from the back. If you really, really, really need to save money though, the minimum viable product is a space that you really need to stay in. And there's a few wheels that I would say fall in this category, but the one I would probably mention first is the Simagic GT Neo. It's got pretty much everything you need. It has silicone grips, it has 4 encoders on the front, it has an option for a multi-link, it has a couple of thumb rotaries. It's stiff. It's not aluminum and carbon fiber. It's a composite, but feels stiff enough that you're not going to lose fidelity from the flexing of the wheel. And if you don't like that item, then Simagic also makes a GT Neo. And, this is being recorded in August in the year of our Lord, Ray McGeechee 2026. So if, you haven't realized the market has shifted and highly competent, highly functional wheels are available at this rock bottom price of $250. So if you are following that, don't buy new, buy used philosophy, you can probably get a GT Neo for like $200, which is exactly what I did. I talked to a friend of mine, his name is John. He is moving on from his Simagic GT Neo. He offered it for sale. I bought it specifically to do this video. So if you are looking to see a review of the Simagic GT Neo, go ahead and give me a message in the comments and we'll figure out how to do that. But he did send it to me in a box, and people do like seeing boxes being opened. So we're gonna pretend we're Ray McGeechee and use a microphone to narrate ourselves, and then we'll use that microphone to open up the box. So let's go ahead and take a look. So John says $200 shipped. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. I don't even know which side is up, but I'll assume the side that has the label is up. So box is, wheels probably most of this. I also got the Simagic Mag Link. So if you're into the new Zeus wheels, they have an updated mag link, which allows you to get the additional power and data requirements for the MagLink for the new Magic Dash. And that is something where I think, you know, Simagic has done what most of the wheel manufacturers are doing, is they'll introduce this minimum viable product at a low price and then try to lock you into their ecosystem, or at least do something highly suggestive. The cool thing about the Simagic Neo is that the GT Neo does introduce you to Simagic's ecosystem, which is robust. They have a wheelbase, they have a bunch of different wheel styles, they have a handbrake, they have a shifter, they have pedals, they have haptics that go on the pedals, and the pedals come in all sorts of ranges from you know, entry level all the way up to hydraulic top level stuff. So the only thing they're really missing is an active pedal, but I'll bet they get there. So yeah, let's take a look at this Simagic GT Neo and figure out how they are you know, trying to get you into their ecosystem with that MagLink. But with the MagLink, you can leave the ecosystem and use your GT Neo with that. So I don't have a Simagic wheelbase. I don't use their quick release system, but the MagLink does let you put on something that lets you run a cable, so you can use any quick release you want and run it directly to your PC or powered hub. It's not a terrible idea. And it looks like I got a nice box here too, which is great. Let's talk about that MagLink first, since this one is available. The MagLink, a lot like the QCon, it just connects to a thing that you add to the wheel. So you run this to your PC or powered hub, you connect this to the MagLink adapter that goes in the back of the wheel. So unlike the Q controls QCon, this connects to something that connects to the wheel. Again, if you use the Simagic wheelbase, then you don't need this at all. And you don't need this extra stuff. This is just a USB cable. I assume it's just for updating stuff. There's probably a USB port in the back of the wheel. I'm gonna set those down gently. And let's see what else is in here. And they have been packed pretty well. I'm always excited to receive a package that is intact. But this goes on the back of the GT Neo, and then this connects to the inside of the wheel. Put that a little closer so you can see. And so this connects to your wheel. This allows you to connect any quick release that matches the 70 or 50.8 millimeter pattern, and it looks like you have both slots and holes, so that's pretty nice. And then the MagLink would connect to the bottom of this, so I'll reach down here and get that MagLink cable that I disposed of. So probably on there, something like this, although that doesn't seem, there we go. There we go. So pretty robust in that, you know, this would be the inside of your wheel over here. And this, in addition to being magnetic, also keeps you from, wow, that is very strong. 2 big magnets, 4 pins, so USB 2.0, no problems. In addition to being magnetic, there is a lip. So a protrusion here and a lip on the inside, so that keeps you from getting that extra wiggle that goes on there. So yeah, so far, MagLink really makes a whole lot of sense. It kind of stinks that you have to buy this extra for the wheel, but again, minimum viable product, and used wheel means for $200, I get a, you know, probably inexpensive accessory. It's a cable and a plate with a magnet and a cable. So nothing special there. But if you are using the GT Neo on a Simagic wheelbase, you don't even need the MagLink. Oh, let's see, manual for the MagLink, which is great. They tell you how to use it, but apparently, even without reading the manual, I knew what to do. Ooh, what's this? Looks like an additional MagLink thing. Not sure what that is. Should probably read the manual to find out what it is, but it looks pretty tidy. My guess is my friend John didn't really use this at all. We'll see. So once you do all that, you get a box. Nicely packaged, nicely presented. And you know, this isn't a review. It's just a discussion about minimal viable product. If you are producing a wheel these days, you know, 2026, if your wheel isn't better than the Simagic Neo and it costs more than $250, just go home. Like, your wheel either needs to be cheaper than this or better than this. This is the minimal viable product. So a bunch of stickers and stuff like that. I don't think we care about that. You guys just want to see the wheel. I know. But the packaging, really pretty nice. You know exactly what to expect. Peel this top off. And you get, that was a little scary. I thought maybe made some noise. And obviously, you know, this is used, but my friend John didn't use the native quick release at all. So what I have here is a Simagic NRG style quick release that looks like it's ready to be placed onto a wheel side, or ready to be placed on a wheelbase, but he was kind enough to attach it. You detach that, you put the MagLink on, you put, this is that USB cable port that I was talking about, that's on there. Yeah, I would say this is a really nice wheel. And, you know, yeah, if you can't beat this, go home. These are backlit buttons with lights on the rotary switches. They're plastic, but they feel very nice. You know, and if you don't want all the extra colors on there, you can leave the wheel turned off. It does look like there would be extra buttons up here, but they are not there. I think it's just a feint, so to speak. You know what though? I think John did something that is a little extra here. It feels like there's domed stickers on the top of this. I'm pretty sure Simagic doesn't do that. So the last thing I got from John, because you know I'm a repeat customer, he gave me a bunch of domed stickers. I think he bought them on Etsy or something like that. So that's an enhancement that you get if you are willing to tolerate something that's used. So yeah, not a bad deal there. Thumb rotaries feel good, buttons feel good, funky switches work. Knobs are plastic, but if you're wearing gloves, you probably don't even care. They look nice, but you know they're unnecessary. And if you've already got a way to tolerate stickers, you're willing to use the ones that came with it, or willing to tolerate someone else having used the stickers, then you know this is a pretty good deal. The shifters are completely competent. I believe they are metal shifters with strong magnets, so you know, not any kind of plastic shifter with a like a micro switch that you're never going to hit accurately because your paddle's bending or something like that. These are great, considering that, you know, $200. Yeah, if you cannot produce a wheel that is at least this featured or below this price, like, try again. The Simagic GT Neo is the minimum viable product. So until next time, I'm still Marlon. And this has been MV Pittman Cross Sim Racing. Check out the Simagic GT Neo if you need a wheel that is not too expensive to be what it is. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.